Hello, my name is Tyler Youngman, and this is my final project for Digital Media 2500, and it is my clock. And it looks like an analog clock right off the bat, but you'll notice that it has different bar graphs, and those don't represent numbers per se because they're in analog form. So you know that obviously the top one's 12, bottom one would be 6, and everyone in between would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., etc. And I did put 3 columns here to label each of the bar graph colors here, and this is mostly used for shops and shop owners, so they would be able to pull their data from the previous day in terms of how many customers would walk through their door or carry out or drive through, etc. And they could customize the the columns obviously, and all they would need to do is import the specific numbers and it would automatically populate the previous day. So this is useful because when I used to work at Subway and when I was a manager at Subway, I would kind of always look. I'd have to print a receipt every time I wanted to see like how many sandwiches we sold the previous day to kind of guess on how many we would sell the current day. So this automatically does that. It would pull from the system the previous day's information, and then you could just see in a clock form what time would have that amount of people. So for example, 9 o'clock would have a good amount of drive-through, walk-in, and a little bit less carry-out. But then when it gets to like 12 o'clock, no people came in. Maybe the store was closed, or they were still opening, or something went wrong, but they had no customers. So that's basically my clock. And how I did that was I started with the clock example that Professor Mosher gave us, and I kind of tweaked it a little bit. And he had a dot for the second hand, and I made it a line so it's easier to see. And how I did the data visualization was pretty much the same as the planets one, except I didn't use density and stuff like that. I didn't take all the rows and put them in the same order. I kind of took one row at a time, so 12, and get row 0, which is the first row of my file that has all the data in it, and it goes 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc., all the way through. And it gets to 11. And then all this fill and shapes are just the graphs and the colors for each. And one problem I ran into was when I had just drive, walk, and carry variables here, the graph would actually be upside down for whatever reason. Maybe it has something to do with the square root function. So I had to use negative, which flipped it the right way up. So that's my clock. I think it'd be very useful for store owners and managers to keep in like the back to see how many people they can kind of guess will come in for the shift today, and maybe if they think they're going to need help, then they can call in more employees, and that would be really cool. So that's my final project. Thank you for watching.